What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more AFK Journey, and today we are all about PvP because we kind of thought maybe Mikola makes these Maulers a little bit better in PvP, and I have had some pretty good results. Now, the big three here is going to be Mikola, it's going to be Soren, and it is going to be Shakir. I'll show you guys a couple of my offensive hits. Looks like I might have lost something on defense, but the team I'm running does sometimes have a couple Celestial or Hypogens on it. Sometimes I tried using Smokey. Man, Smokey just doesn't make the cut. But the big three, Shakir, Mikola, and Soren, those three are super important because they all have really good survivability. Soren, once he drops below 50%, just continues healing. Shakir, same type thing. I wonder if we can make Seth work in this. I don't know, but I'm going to show you guys some of our replays. Of course, having someone like Scarlita on our team when we're going up against Paragon heroes is going to be required, but somehow we did pull out some victories here. Now, the only downside of Mikola's kit is you'll notice this area has stayed gray. That's because we're just 2v2 right here. Soren went too far and he's actually outside of that border, so we aren't getting the healing and we aren't getting the attack debuff until I believe Scarlita jumps down, which she should be any second now. I think so. And then finally it turns green. It turns the healing on. You can kind of see Smokey just being silenced in the back the entire battle, which is just so freaking annoying. And then he gets killed off. But you can see here the survivability of Shakir and Soren already is very good, and when you add Mikola into the mix too, not only does Mikola needs to be a melee when it comes to her kit, when it comes to PvP, because when you take a look at that right there, you need people in the middle of the battleground. The other one we just did on offense, I changed it up a little bit because we're fighting on offense. Of course, Reinier is an amazing solution here. You can see the power of Soren. You can see the healing of Mikola, the top even higher than Damien on the battlefield. This trio seems to work pretty good. And you can see right here, this time with the swap, we take control of the middle of the battlefield right away at the beginning of the battle, and you'll notice here we do extremely well survivability wise. The extra healing right out of the gate is good. Soren has tons of CC when he corners somebody because he just continuously pushes them back and stunning them. Shakir has amazing survivability, especially when you have the shielding and such and the defense buffs from the Scarlita. We're also getting magic and physical defense buffs from the Mikola, so all these things really add together and make a very offensive punchy team. We're not using Aaron, we're not using Lily May, we're not using any of those wilders right now that are just extremely powerful. So I figured I'd show you guys a couple of my tests I've been doing here today, and then I'm going to try to just go in and do a couple more. Now, some of these teams are just like, they might have similar power level, but like the actual Paragon heroes makes it a little lopsided here. I do like how this is going. We are gonna have to switch this up a little bit though. I do need Soren in the mix. We need to get Soren swapped onto something, and anything's better than anything than that. So this is a very weird team. This is a Sylvina style team. So doing this swap to give him survivability and damage reduction is gonna be really good. Kind of want to put you up the front. Yeah, that's perfect. Putting the mark on Reinier is not bad. Let's see how this one goes. This is a really interesting team we're going up against. Not a single person is in the center of the battlefield. That is not good for us because that means we are not going to take control for Mikola's healing and stuff to go off, which is not good. However, her survivability is still surprisingly good. But without that healing, the placement of our heroes is definitely going to matter. Down to Soren and Scarlita, I don't think that's going to be enough, although Soren has provided some crazy wins, especially since he does have that healing. Nope, he does go down, and then Scarlita is going to be taken apart too. This is a really interesting team, and this is one of the big downsides though of this type of team, is if Mikola, look at that, Mikola has like no healing. If you don't take control of the center of the battlefield, you're in very much danger here. Now, you could argue, honestly, the swapping is probably not good with the Reinier in every situation because you're not putting your hero in the center of the battlefield. You're swapping him to the back line. I kind of wonder if we can make Seth work. Seth is another hero that could be doing really good, and I'm trying to keep it very Mauler focused. I guess we could even run like an... Oh, I didn't even think about it. What about running an Entendre? We're very, very melee heavy with this team, but luckily some of the heroes can jump around. This could be a really tanky type setup though. Let's give it a shot. I really don't use Entendre much, but in PvP, she really does make your hero super tanky. The problem is we're getting stuck here. We're not able to move because of this, which means we can't take control just yet. And for some reason, there we go. We finally move, and now, how do we not have control? We have 4 units in here. They only have, there we go. We finally took control of it. Interesting. That healing definitely worthwhile. Soren kind of plays an interesting role because he can knock the enemy out of this little battlefield in the center, which is interesting too. Definitely an interesting team setup. Definitely is. Surprisingly, the Entendre is still alive, which is going to give more survivability to our Shakir. Surprisingly, it looks like Soren, in that amount of time before he died, did a crazy amount of damage. And you can see here, we got like multiple Paragon heroes that we're going up against, and we're still providing really, really good output on damage. So let's just keep going, because I'll be honest, I'm having fun anytime I get to use Maulers in PvP. Hitting that far up is a little too high. Usually we hit people in the 40 to 20-ish range. And again, let's try not doing a swap. That does mean we're going to have to be really particular with where we put our heroes at. I don't know if Entendre's would play. I feel like if we did use Lily May, that would be good. But for some reason, I just want to keep it extremely focused on the Maulers right here, trying to make the best Mauler team possible. We could use a Brutus. He does have a taunt and such. We could use a Coco. We could even use Alsa, but I don't know if Alsa is going to be great in this situation. I don't think her damage output is going to be crazy good. I kind of want to make Seth possible. I want to see if Seth is going to run over and try to take the Arden out. Well, maybe even putting Soren over here would be the better play. Let's give this a shot. Let's see where the heroes end up. I think this could be pretty good. Soren or Seth. Someone go over here. Oh, they both got tweaked over to the side. Now, summons are going to be causing a bit of an issue for our Mikola control. You can see here we still don't have control of the middle, and this is a bad battlefield for this. We did get control, so we are healing. We are getting those attack buffs. Shakir and everybody's getting really low. We have a lot of ultimates, but we're just getting crowd controlled to death here because, well, yeah, the entire enemy team is essentially crowd control. We need our Scarlita maybe is even coming down a little too late in these battles, it feels like. Like, the battle's already been decided by the time she does come down. She does have an ultimate. She could literally knock half the enemies off the battlefield right here. But again, we're just getting chain CC'd, and that is what PvP is all about, is that control. She might, yep, see, she actually just got knocked out right there. Having a team that's very heavy in CC is one of the really big counters to this. I do think running Seth is probably a big mistake, though. I don't think Seth is going to be the play here. Let's do one more battle. Let's see who we could swap in here. I don't like Seth. I want something for survivability, honestly, but it does need to be someone melee. To be honest, running someone like Brutus would probably be the smart play. Alsa, I think, is just going to get absolutely destroyed. To be honest, if we wanted the best team possible, it's most likely picking a Lily May right here. Like, it's just hands down. It's going to be Lily May, I feel like. Let's just do one Lily May in here to see if it really changes up. She's such a powerful PvP unit to have. Just denying those ultimates right here is going to be on the Thorin, I believe, that we stopped the ultimate. Arden is probably going to get his off if he's not crowd controlled, which he did break out. That does mean a crazy amount of damage, but Scarlita with the shielding was huge. Mikola does go down. This is going to be really close, I feel like. Although, no, their Lily May is going to come in. So, it can be a very good trio. I do think going for the Reiner strategy, though, is probably going to be the best way, just because that adds that extra survivability your team needs, as well as some crowd control and stuff. And we're kind of just going up against random teams as well. So, I do think whenever possible, even if it does kind of not work all the time with the strategy you're going for, which usually the strategy is going to be focusing on taking out this enemy on the back line, it's gonna mean we kind of leave the middle open to the enemy team, which maybe that means Mikola's not the best choice for that right there. But yeah, Reiner is just so strong on offense. Being able to pick apart like the strongest enemy that they're trying to protect is just so good. And as you guys can see, the one downside of Reinier is he's not in the main part of the battlefield. Yes, he's getting some crowd control off, but he's not giving us control. And this is the big downside of Mikola here. She does have healing besides that battlefield, but a lot of times it takes until Scarlita comes down for her healing to start kicking in. It is a nice finisher, I guess you'd say, but sometimes maybe not as good. As far as her versus smoking PvP, though, it is hands down her every single time. And it does end up to be pretty good sometimes. Yeet by the Scarlita. The Scarlita. But as you guys can see, Soren... If you guys don't have a Soren in PvP, he can do some insanely crazy strong stuff. Do you need the Mikola? Probably. That healing is coming in very huge, even at the end of battle, just topping everybody off. So keep that in mind. That is the trio that I love. Celestial, Hypogen, Lily, May, Aaron. Also, whatever else you want to throw in can kind of work. But those three as a core unit seem to work decently. Let me know what your guys' experiences are with Mikola in PvP, and I'll see you guys next time.